Taking my little bag of tricks. Um, okay, we got a lot of questions about the submissive lifestyle. There's this craze for women who want to be dominated, apparently, or curious about it at the least. I'll start off with this one. Um, hey guys, they want to remain anonymous. They're asking about how to get their men more into being more aggressive. They like it rough, not not too hardcore, but just enough to know that daddy put in work. What are some of the tips um, mm, mm, she suggests that we offer to her?
Okay, well, the first thing I always say is that open line of communication. Communication is very important in all parts of life, especially when it comes to romance and sexual. Now, you have to have this conversation for one and let him know. Not necessarily that you are not satisfied with what he's doing, but you just need a little more.
Mm.
Let him know that the things that you like, what you want him to do to you, um, ask him, has he ever thought about being more aggressive? Let him know what it does to you when he is more aggressive, because that's their end result. They want to make sure if they know how it makes you feel, or hear how it makes you feel while he's doing it, then that's when they actually go harder. They actually put more oomph into it because that reaction is everything. When they see the difference in it. Um, but yeah, definitely have that conversation. Um, Depending whether you're talking about just aggression as far as a little more rough, or a little bit of choking, or are you talking about introducing bedroom accessories to it, like S&M, or dominant and submissive, role playing. I don't know how, deep into it, because you can still explore those different areas without it being hardcore, because it's levels to it. Everything just don't start off with, a
Mhm.
sex slave or anything. It's levels to it. It's And then just explain to them. Try it piece by piece. Introduce something different. Different times. You can't just spring it all on them at one time, because it might be overwhelming, especially if they haven't done it before. Or you might not know. He might like the aggression thing, but he doesn't know that you like it. Because y'all didn't have that
Mhm.
conversation.
Yeah.
So that's my answer to.
So agree. Um. Hmm. Well, I'm with the queen 100% as usual. Um, that piece about communication is the key component there, because if you don't tell him, he won't do it. And when it comes to men, I have a I'm not. This is my suggestion. You can try your own method, but I like to tell women, if it's something very important to you, talk to me like I'm a 4-year-old. Make it so plain and so simple that there's no way I could confuse anything that you're talking about. So if you're telling me that you want to be choked, walk me through how light are we talking? The next time we have sex, instruct me. Tell me what you want. You have to talk to men, because as you're talking to men, you're letting him know what you like and don't like. I'm not saying act like you're you're doing a damn dissertation, or you're sitting up in front of the damn front of the class with a ruler banging on the chalkboard. But when you're in that mood, you know
But
what I
Hakim,
mean?
sometimes rulers are good sometimes, but okay.
Yeah, yeah, it is. But you don't want to. You don't want to. You got to be careful with it. because sometimes some of you sisters could be a little demasculating. You know, you can make us feel like, okay, so what I've been doing wasn't good enough. So it's the approach, the technique of how you explaining things. Um, it's very important in how you bring it out. So when you're a missionary, how about taking his hand and putting it on your throat and choke me a little bit, daddy, or whatever little fun name you got for him. When you hitting in that doggy, if he ain't an ass smacker, come smack my ass. And when he smacks that ass, throw it back extra hard. That lets him know that, okay. So it's ways that you can teach a man without making him feel like he's being taught. Because in our minds, we're just getting to know you. In your minds, I got to teach his ass. We're looking at it like, okay, I'm getting to learn more about her. Mm-hmm. See, it's all about the approach. You know what I mean? So again, communications, and find a way to explore those experiences that you want to have. But you know, again, you gotta be careful how you do it. You have a conversation, and then when you get in that bed, you just find a way to let him know what you like.
Mm-hmm. Two types of communication: the verbal, when you sit and talk, and then when the action is going on, the body language. The body language is very important. So not only are you talking, expressing yourself during sex, but that body language is going to let him know everything he needs to know. If he's doing something right, doing something wrong, if he hurt you in a good way or a bad way, it's going to let him know.
Yep. Because we will appreciate it. You know, we'll definitely appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, we're going to look at it as, okay, we're turning things up a notch. And you'd be surprised how many men, you know, they may have sex with you one way, but may have sex with another woman a different way. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, and you know, I know I have a question. I saw it last night. I have a question that's kind of leading what I'm talking about. So let me do this before I go another step. Let me read that question. That way I can kill two birds with one stone. Because, right. All right. This is from Carla. And Carla asks, hey, guys, it's the first time just hearing about your show. Is it true that a man will fuck his side chick way different than his main chick?
In some cases, and let me explain why. It's because that side chick might be trying to think that she's going to take that main chick place. So she's willing to do any and everything. She might be in some things. Sometimes people have side chicks because their mate isn't pleasing them in one way or another. Some of them just dogs, but I'm just saying if that's the case. And he doesn't have to respect her. Because for one, she's not even respecting herself. But he doesn't have to respect her. So he can do any and everything. He can do things that either his main chick isn't into, or they don't do because he never had that conversation. They never had that conversation. So, yeah. You know, I had a conversation one time, and they were talking about the submissive, the open-mindedness of white women compared to black women, which they just haven't come across the right person. But certain things, you're right, certain things we're not doing. We're not. But he was talking about how anything he's ever asked this white chick to do, whether it was degrading or not, with bodily fluids and everything, she never said no.
Mm-hmm.
She don't hesitate. That's all she wanted to do, whatever she did, whether she liked it or was into it or not. So, which, that breaks one of my rules right then and there. Doing something that you're not comfortable with. Entertain it, yes. Have that conversation, have an open mind. But certain things we're just not into and certain things we're just not comfortable with. And you have to have some type of boundaries, But, so that's just what it is. Some people just don't care. They don't have a list of things they don't do. So that was his reason for, being into white women, not necessarily better in any other area. Because he still complained about all those other areas, like cooking, cleaning, kids, like every other area he had a complaint about, except for in the bedroom. But that's my answer to that. Well, that's the reality of that. But I'm gonna pass it over to you, Hakim.
Just short and sweet. Yep, sure do. And that's it's not meant to be a form of disrespect to a main chick or anything. You gotta understand something. Men very seldomly will pick something that's like what he already has. You ever hear, you see the memes, you hear sisters complaining, hey, you ain't got some, what is wrong with me? That chick, she dirty, she this, and that. And sometimes do shop low when it comes to side chicks. Now, the man's choice. And his choice is usually going to be the opposite of the regular. He knows that this woman isn't as pretty as his woman. He knows that this side chick may not be even as sexy as his woman. But it's the feel and the energy of something different. The variety of it. Right? So he's going to be a piece of shit to this woman. He's going to fuck her like she's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he doesn't have any pressures or responsibilities when it comes. That's his time for release, fun, and that's it. You know,
because he's
talking future with her. He don't have to worry about whether her bills is taken care of. If the kids is fine, he don't have to worry about all that. She serves one purpose.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be an absolute animal to her. And this chick, the side chick, see, the thing about side chicks, they don't always know you have a man. I mean, they don't always know the man has a woman. You know, a side chick will do it and not even know she's a side chick. She's just into this guy. They talk a lot on the phone. They may have hung out a little bit. She's attracted to him. And she may not even be looking for nothing too serious, just somebody that she can kick it with and get a good nut from time to time. And so in her mind, she's just having a little fun. But when he's beating that thing up like a maniac, that's when the emotions kick in. Because it has some good sex to her. Right? He's picking her up. He's walking around the room, smashing her. He's, pinning her up against walls and choking on her. He's spitting in her face. He's giving a whole slut treatment. And she is loving it because she hasn't experienced it before, or she hasn't experienced it in a while, or here's this new situation that's feeding that lustful need. Right? So she's excited and she's into it, and he like, okay, she likes it. My girlfriend don't like that. My girlfriend don't like me to spit on her. She don't like me to pull her hair. She keeps her hair, done, and her hairstyles are expensive, so she don't want nobody touching her hair. Oh, my girl, she's light-skinned, and she don't like me to put my hands around it because it leaves marks. Oh, my girl don't like to be smacked in the ass. She's sensitive around it. See, Men will go after the opposite of the norm. You know, men will go opposite of the norm, and
Yeah.
that's just how it go. That's just how it is.
When he picks,
Yeah,
when they pick the side, they're not picking the future wife. They're not picking the person they got the things in common with, the people they can build with, grow with. They're not. That's not what they're picking. They're picking the one that's gonna let them smash when they want to smash, however they want to smash. That's it.
hmm yeah, and y'all got to get out of this. Women, y'all got to get out of this mentality like men cheat to replace you. No, men cheat because it's there. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's trying to replace you. Men just like the idea of variety sometimes. But the problem with that is when you make a commitment to be loyal and you break it, you're kind of a piece of shit at that point. So, I hope that answered that question and addressed some of the other concerns from the previous question. All right, here we go. All right, this is from a brother who does not want his name mentioned. When brothers don't want their name mentioned, you know it's some shit.
Yeah, that's how I said.
And it goes right into what we just been discussing. Why is side sex so damn good? And that's how he starts it off. Hold on, that's how he starts it off, and he continues his question with, he states, it's more of a statement than a question. He's saying, he's cheated before, and he thinks he's addicted to cheating. It's not because his wife is doing anything wrong. It's just he loves the idea of having sex with other women, and he's addicted to it. So, ladies, have at him.
Well, first of all, if you want to sleep around, you can either be in the open. This is what kills me about these situations here, Mr. Anonymous. It's because you have so many other lifestyles that's okay with that. You have open relationships. You have swingers. You have, people that's okay. Like, open relationships, you're okay. They're okay with you sleeping with somebody else. Or don't get in a committed relationship. You can have somebody you're kicking with, dating or whatever, and you could be dating this person, and sleeping with both of them. I mean, it's ways to get around with it without damaging someone else or being misleading or deceitful or a dog to somebody, because you're damaging that person. When they find out, they could be doing everything right. They're going to question everything about themselves as a mate when they get cheated on. And it absolutely has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you and wanting to sleep with other people. Now, as the reasons we just stated before is the reasons why I feel so good. Another reason is because you're not supposed to be doing it. Things that you're not supposed to be doing sometimes feel, well, not sometimes, but when you're not supposed to be doing something and it's forbidden, you want it so much more and it feels so much better. So that's why I feel so good. But and my thing is, if people want to sleep with more than one person, that's on them. That's what they choose. But be honest about it. Have you ever thought about asking your mate if she wasn't threesome? She might like chicks too. You don't know. Or is it things that you want to do that she doesn't want to do? Did you have that conversation with her? Are you doing everything that you're supposed to be doing to make her want to open up that door to do some things with you that you may like to